Let's hit.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I think we can survive. Just test.
So, the beauty of traveling, I think, it's this whole thing of growth and learning. And I've always realized, Guti, the most growth happens for me when I'm in new spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it almost forces the brain.
Challenges you.
Yeah, I want a different...
Like, go outside of the norm.
All of a sudden you realize with the jacket I too akusebenzi or like shisa corner or
What form of growth?
any form.
Emotional, spiritual, psychological.
In every way.
Is it?
Mentally, like whenever I find, even when I put myself in a new space, like let's say I'm driving to work, just taking a different route that I don't normally take. I just find that it almost, the brain has to be now more active. Whereas, when you start driving, you become more like it becomes autonomous. The moment you change your route, all of a sudden now you have to be alert.
Yeah.
Those type of things. But you enjoyed Cape Town, Minyar?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it.
No, man, thank you so much for pulling through. I watched your podcast with Usisi Kanyis.
Oh, yes.
That was phenomenal. And I was
Thank
like
you.
to the gents, okay, guys, let's make sure that he comes through to AMAGENTS.
Yeah.
It's a bit different here because it's not an interview.
Yeah.
There's no topic. so it's all
it goes where it goes.
So I know, like people are talking over each other.
Yeah.
So how you lead it as the guest.
Yeah.
If you want us to just jump and talk about clothes, we'll go there. If you want us to talk about politics, we'll go there.
Sure.
We can go there.
He said the same thing again.
Abafuna ukuguga. Bathi bathi nokujampisa mangabini vele seyikhulu bonda ngeke ukhona ugrilla.
Ngokuthi ayikhula sicela ngapha sithi reverse fate.
It's bad. Yes,
No, man. So like again, it's such a privilege having a person of your stature.
Thank you, sir.
On the platform.
Thank you.
Guys, we must talk more English.
Okay.
Because I've heard like over December, like had like 10 people.
Yeah.
Like black people from Zim, people from Bots, like, hey. I was like, hey man, I'm a Kaluma the Sngase.
So you agreed. For the first time you agreed
I
to what
agreed,
people
bro,
suggested.
because people like they thirst for a Teboge Kebine.
That speaks English.
The queens.
But they love the
That they
person
understand.
But the person they love didn't speak English. They fell in love with didn't speak English.
Who did they
So
fall
what
in
if
love
they
with?
change? Same Kolumisi Ngisi la senyapenda. Like I steps of weed.
So yeah, but you have to kuluma the Sngisi. Which for me has always been very interesting. Ukuthi when the colonizers colonized us and made us speak their language.
Yes.
Was it 100% bad?
Because it did
For
bring
the world, not for us.
Because it did bring us together in the sense where
Yes.
now there's a way that I can understand a Tswana person.
Which is why in Africa we had what's this language that's being
Swahili.
spoken?
Swahili, yes.
So we tried to create that language that everybody had to try and understand because we took a little bit from that one. So I know it's not nice what I'm saying, but was it 100% bad that because if we didn't do it, if they didn't do it, somebody else would have done it. In fact,
With the
if
Zulus?
Ushaka Zulu achieved what he was meant to achieve, what was prophesied on his life that he must achieve, he would have done exactly what white people did.
And is that bad?
It's bad how it was done, but
As I'm listening
the
to you
process
guys.
was bad. But
Yeah.
the end game.
The end game.
Because you can go to America and speak Isingisi. You can go to Europe or any other country,
And Isingisi
somebody
always flows,
understands
bro.
you. Otherwise, they would not have understood you speaking your Tswana, your Pedi, your Zulu.
Yeah, what is it? So we've been asked.
It's just a question. I'm not saying it was right.
No. I think Ushaka should have done what he was so that We would make life easier. We'd all be speaking Zulu.
Yeah.
And we'd all be blue blood of royalty. Yeah, Zulu people.
Like your current king.
Yeah. Wow, don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
Don't do that.
no.
Don't
I'm
do
just
that.
saying. You said you guys would be of royal blood.
Don't do that. Don't do
Okay,
that.
cool.
You're such a... And this episode, Menier, out of respect for the madam at home, I'm not going to swear.
Okay.
Thank you.
So she said, no. If you have with Muzi, then you can't swear. You can't.
Who said that? Oh, okay.
I need to say, I've said, no. Kono is coming.
Wait, umemu wami or umemu
Wam.
wami? Oh, okay.
We're going to discuss memoir.
Send your shine.
No. Because she's the one who handles all my bookings.
Okay.
Yeah. But then we were talking
Yes,
with Joshua on this one. Yeah.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So no swearing.
No swearing.
No, I'm good.
Singisi?
It's huge. I'm Singisi, you are swearing.
And for those at home, this is just Coca-Cola. Hey, we're learning, eh?
It's good.
Hey. What levels?
Thank you.
Thank
you for accommodating me. Thank you.
No, we
have to.
We thankful that you are here.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Man, I don't know what topic you want to go into, Mlotshwa, but we spoke about other things you are working on outside of the industry. And I don't want to mention what it is. I don't know if you're comfortable to mention.
Yeah.
I need you to really emphasize to filmmakers to have an alternative financially.
Yeah.
I really need you to speak to them because people really think we're joking when you say to them, but you can't have one stream of income in this industry. It makes no sense. When up as you're in front of camera, maybe they'll take you more serious.
Yeah.
Because I preach this thing every day.
It's not just this industry.
Okay.
As a man, as a woman, you can't have one stream of income.
It was correct fast.
Sure.
Phone is back.
Yeah.
But as a person, you can't have one stream of income these days. You have to have a multiple streams of income. Even if it's something that gives you 2,000 rands a month, even if it's something that can make you 10,000 rands a month, you can't have one stream of income. In my industry, things are getting even worse. It's getting crazy because of AI. Last year, Hollywood introduced their first AI character. We are going to be acting with AI characters. So they were very smart in introducing the first one just to see how people are going to react. And of course, there was a very big brouhaha about how dare you introduce AI characters? Where are we going now? What's happening now in the industry is that big companies are asking us to sell or advising to sell your image so that your image can make you money when you can't. They won't always be casting us. There's very few elderly people. I'm becoming an old man very fast in this industry. So I need to start thinking about alternatives. I need to get land, physical land. This thing of Kugela like goal is not going to work. You know, so as a filmmaker, you have to have a multiple streams of income. I'm still an editor. I'm a professional video editor. I'm a speaker. I preach now. Now I'm some but I preach.
Sure.
Which is what every Christian is supposed to do. Yes. Because Jesus said, "Go ye therefore into all the corners of the world and win souls and make them disciples for me." So it's our duty. So other than that, I'm a speaker. I'm an actor.
It's
Matthew 28. Yeah, Matthew 28. Yeah.
Oh, no. Do you have the Bible?
You have to save a soul. You can't just leave today.
Yeah. No. I'm working on it. Yeah. But the bottom line is you have to have a multiple streams of income. But you also have to think about where the world is going, because this thing of AI, it's not just something that is coming to disrupt everything. It is inevitable that AI is going to be part of our lives, is already a part of our lives. How are you going to use it to make money? That's what matters. Think about I'm a cassette. We grew up playing a cassette, and they had their lifeline, and then we had CDs. CDs came in, and whoever still insisted on thinking they're going to play cassette, they got left behind.
Yeah.
And then after ama CDs, now we are streaming. And I was just speaking with a friend of mine the other day, Guti. When there were CDs, we did not know what's the next thing. We thought the CDs were the ultimate. Now we are streaming. The question is, what's going to happen next? What's going to replace it? Because we can't even imagine what's going to replace the streaming. But eventually it will be replaced.
As I was watching Tony Robbins, he was getting interviewed on Diary of a CEO. And he's speaking about the next decade.
Yeah.
It was scary, eh? How he broke it down.
Yeah.
Because exactly what you're speaking about, and I was saying this to like my team, Muzi, let's say you're a plumber, you know, and we weren't speaking about in terms of getting replaced by AI, but we're talking about how there's this wave of getting young black females.
Yeah.
You know, so they are more qualified in terms of university. They are coming in hard and fast. Whether that's good or bad thing for society, we don't know yet. We will see the fruits with time. So I was saying, if you're a plumber, guys, this is some tips. You need to have a side hustle. And your side hustle might be selling plumbing equipment. So that's one avenue.
Yeah.
Maybe also be freelance and start your own plumbing company. While usebenzela kibine plumbers. Yeah, one. Start your own.
Your weekend.
Your weekend. You're freelancing. Here you're selling plumbing equipment. And then you need to have some online presence where you are doing plumbing 101 education. But you need to have your YouTube making you 2 hour, your clothes making you 2 hour, your freelance making you 2 hour, and then at least your 9 to 5 can still
be the main,
while you are building this. Because if you otherwise you
yeah.
Otherwise
you're doing nothing.
You're doing nothing.
Let dictionary
in a tatangs.
Yeah.
Because it's such an important thing, and a lot of people are stuck. Whenever you say, hey guys, get multiple sources of income, I think a lot of people say, what's my first step? What's my first step? So I always ask, what do you do? What is it that you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I work as a teacher. Perfect. Maybe you want to start, what grade? Grade 6. Okay, maybe you want to start by writing a book.
Yes.
You know, that is something you know what you education. So write the book, you know, about maybe you're teaching grade 6. This is Zulu. You know, maybe write a book about Zulu starting from grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever up until matric. See if you can do that. Sell that. Then have an online presence. You can't run away from an online presence.
Yeah, that you cannot.
Yeah. Whether we use AI and not have your actual face, if you don't want to be front camera, where you are teaching Zulu. So now you're selling something.
Yeah.
From an entrepreneur point, from a retail point, you work your 9 to 5 and you've got an online presence. And make sure they're all bringing in a little bit of money.
Communicating with one another as well. True. And it's, and I really worry about the guys in our industry. And you know, sometimes it's hard to blame them because in fact, we were taught that go to school, varsity, then you're going to work for the rest of your life. That's what we were taught. You're going to retire.
Not just going to work, bro. You're telling a Mercedes.
You're going to have a house. We were sold this perfect life. So for someone to think I'll have an alternative to that, it's extremely hard. It's extremely, because even when I speak to them, I'm like, okay, in fact, when you're a sound guy, open up a business where you clean sound equipment or you fix sound equipment. Like how? Then I'm
even selling a makota. Selling a makota cars. There's a friend of mine who was a producer, but he also had a business of selling a makota. You know? That was making him some money. And where Mina now would think that a producer is making enough money, why doesn't Hey Baba, everybody needs to have a second, a third, a fourth stream of income.
But in terms of AI, sorry, Guti, I work in marketing, advertising. And for us, AI it's in there. I think for you guys, it's more very niche. I might be mistaken in terms of your likeliness and in putting that. For us, it's straightforward. In terms of if I want an ad and I want some copy at the bottom, I can just literally prompt ChatGPT and I get that copy. You know, I look at some of my mates who are in finance. Guys, finance is the most, I think is the fastest dying industry, you know, to AI. You know, finance, low level, entry level in terms of the law, Why am I getting some junior to go and look in the law library for 2 days when I can find whatever case I want on
Exactly.
ChatGPT within a couple of seconds? And then you look at those spaces and you say, okay, so right now when we're advising the younger guys coming up, how do we go about that? Besides the side hustle, how can they use this thing called AI to not push themselves?
I don't
out
even
of
think
it?
we need to tell them anything, the young guys.
Sure.
Because when they grow up and as they grow, this is their
Lived experience.
not lived experience per se, but it's their it's their reality. It's what they live in. You know, Tina would struggle with your phone. Would say, how do I open this phone? Bona, this is what they know. You know?
Why Titin?
No, ngikhuluma ngathi.
Oh.
No, not this generation. But when are you close to me? Look at your beard. Baba. Look at your beard.
I'm an 80s baby.
Baby.
I'm an 80s baby.
Ngathi sikhala ngama 2000s. Ukuthi ama 2000 ayaguga and when you are 80s baby you thinking you are still a baby.
afraid.
Baba.
It takes time, but it takes time to accept
To accept ukuthi, yeah.
It's okay.
No, Lalela, you're gonna start hearing people saying, "Hey, Grootman, hey,
Then you know.
When I drop off my kids,
yeah."
Uncle Penson. I go, oh Lord.
Can't flop about uncle.
There's nothing I can do, bro.
What's the problem to you? Why you not good?
No, I'm that man. When I was in matric, if I had a child in matric, that child would be out of school, bro.
Sure.
You know, so like
Yeah.
that child would be like
It's
graduating.
inevitable. It's inevitable.
So
You just have to make sure you age gracefully.
Yeah, no,
By
for sure.
who's paternal.
Ngaphuzi.
But back to
Ngaphuzi,
the issue of these youngsters.
yes.
For them, this is their standard. The default setting is the word I was looking for. AI for them is a default setting.
sure.
They think of businesses that we haven't even thought about.
Fact.
And in fact, Bona, even their pricing, it goes with the times. Abaphila zona. There's a friend of mine who was owning a business of, he would go to companies and say, I'll market you guys. He would take his cameras and he would go and film for whatever event they had. And he would sell them back the footage and the finished edited product.
Yeah.
Now, this guy calls me, says, "Hey, Mthabela, how is the pricing out there these days? Because me, now if I take out my camera, I charge for the camera. This is how we did it. I charge for the camera, I charge for editing, I charge the editor, I charge for the equipment." And these guys just come and say, "No, man, I can't do this for you for 12K, man."
Hey.
And this guy used to do the same thing for 65K. And
I'm
these
quite
guys,
decent, I want love.
they know where to get these cameras cheap. They buy them. Tina, we thought you can't buy these cameras because at the time it was
That was big, yeah.
big cameras. These guys come with small cameras like this. They put gadgets. They're already filming and they got all these special effects and they present. It's like, wow, that's amazing. And you're thinking, I would have charged 50K for this.
Yes.
And this guy's like, "No, I can't do this for you for 12K.
No, you're
man."
so right. You are
You know?
so right, yeah.
So we are learning from them how to do business, which they found us doing. Because for them, this is a default setting.
You know what you're saying? I'm trying to figure out. Obviously, you're speaking about a niche of a type of guy, if we're being very specific, amachita, which is, one could argue, higher LSM, middle class and above. The lower guy, what, and you know where this is coming from, honestly? This matric results thing that came out recently, that from grade 10 to 12, they lose about, 88% of amachita. Was that the thing? It was, no?
No, I don't know. From great, I have never heard that.
Yeah, I think I sent it to Grootman Lako that they say from crèche until matric they lose 2%
yes.
amachita.
Yeah.
2% of guys are being lost in the whole
Well,
system.
the true one, I think the pass rate is 52%.
Yeah.
If we're looking at enrollment from
Sure.
grade 1 to matric.
Then amachita from grade
Okay.
10 to matric, more than half of them they leave school.
What? Serious?
Yeah. I think it was 88%. I must check that thing again. But there's a ridiculous number of guys dropping out. And
Is that us Ekasi? Because now
no,
we
they're
want to
just
go
saying,
to...
they're just saying,
No, but I need to kumbul with a lot of people that watch this.
yeah.
The mere fact that you've got YouTube tells us that already you are in a certain bracket.
Okay, cool.
You know.
Sure.
So sometimes when we say certain stats, because they went to Banbani College or Banbani High,
They are not-
They don't realize with a lot of guys drop off after grade 9, GFX college, you know, or just because in cleaning, they're bad and they need to
And that's what
Clemency.
the Minister of Education was saying, that when they live in these high numbers between grade 10 and 11, we need to figure out where they're going. Because she says that the systems are not linked. Yeah, when IFT college or wherever they're going, it's like we don't know where else they are going, but we realize that we do lose this chunk of people. But what I want to ask Uguti, the guy you are speaking of that has got the business where he can do that job for 12,000, where as a production company you charge 50, 60,000. That's I don't know what the percentage is, but Amachita that are at a higher LSM.
Yeah.
Lamachita that are at the lower LSM, which is the majority of Amachita.
Yeah.
What is it about them that they're not going into business number one or even a second business, and they're finding themselves in situations where they can't even compete with the sisters?
Yeah.
Where do you think Amachita are getting a lot of things wrong?
Hey, I don't know. I think it comes back from back in the day. Amachera bekeleza. Thina isigele besifika sidlale. Most of the time, girls are very motivated to finish as soon as they can, while Tina, we are still playing around. While Tina, we are still making babies. We're still thinking, Chama boy is the thing. And Mona, they just want to finish the course and start fixing at home because they saw the pain that a majority of our mothers went through. So a majority, it goes back to the fact that a majority of the households are single mother households. So girls, because of the affinity they have with their mother, this is just my opinion. Because of the closeness they have with their mother, they see their mother struggling. They just want to go out there, fix things, and come back and fix things for Uma. Tina, we are out there. Put Madlisa, you are living large, and when things don't go our way, then we want to make a way. We want to make this money by hooks or crooks, which is why amachita isikhathi esiningi amachita ayahereza, amachita ayaphanda. I grew up in Mlazi, for example, at some point in my life, and our heroes were amachita benjontshwa imoto, were car thieves. We looked up to them. If they were not car thieves, they were going to town on Saturdays and Sundays. Casanova, there was one of those shops in Durban, Casanova, Just Japs.
Oh, that's just
Nah, it doesn't.
I don't know those things, but I know AI. But
wow. Just jams. There's people that are gonna get goosebumps. China 8,000 back in
Back in the day.
2001.
Yeah.
next.
So you see, that's why we got left behind.
It's Amachita.
But
Yeah.
can I push back?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you brought up Imlaz in your upbringing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we might have to do the interview thing of starting back with your background.
Yeah.
I think that the system is rigged against the boy child. Because it can't be that your lived experience is my lived experience, is his lived experience in totally different corners of South Africa.
I have a problem when we keep making our
I
lived
disagree with
experiences an excuse of not moving ahead.
No, I'm not disputing it. I'm
Yeah.
saying, Muzi, my question is why? If I can understand the why, then I'm happy and I can move on.
Okay.
Well, it goes to who rules the world.
Because if my why is it that the boy child is struggling at a school system
Yeah.
and the girl child seems to thrive?
What are we struggling with, though?
The way it's set up. Let's just talk about how a grade 1 class looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grade 1, you get into a certain time, you keep quiet. Shh. During break, you have to sit down, fold your legs, eat your sandwich. The boy child is not geared biologically to be
Yeah, I
able
know.
to
He
follow
wants
that
to
type of
move.
structure. He wants to move. He wants to jump up and down. That's why the boy child does so well in your PE and those type and sports generally at school.
Yeah.
Because he can then express himself. So I'm saying, Guti, there's a knock-on effect. You spoke again about, Guti, a lot of us were raised by single mothers.
Yeah.
Oh, Baba Beko.
Yeah.
I asked the question, why? Because it's easy to say our dads were losers. Because I grew up saying, if my dad is a loser.
Yeah.
But that's how I grew up. Until I become a father and I go, why?
Yeah.
Why wasn't he there? Because it's a natural thing to want to raise your lions, your cubs.
I think we are not intentional enough about what kind of a society we are trying to create for ourselves. I look at, for example, China. China is already thinking 50 years ahead. And what China is going through today is because 20 years ago, they were thinking 50 years ahead. what are we thinking ahead, Tina Botaki? Instead of always making excuses, yeah, the system is rigged. Why can't we rig the system in our favor? What is stopping us?
Do we have that ability?
Yes.
All it takes is our mind. The only thing that needs to change is how we think. How we think. The moment we change how we think, the moment we think about how we structure our families, for example, the moment we start thinking about business. I live in the south of Johannesburg. I usually see, I'm a Sulumane, the Muslim guys. They are always coming together as sitting like every day without fail.
Yeah.
They're sitting like this at some hungry lion somewhere, You can see these guys are plotting.
They're intentional. They are intentional.
Yeah, they are intentional about where they are going to be in the next 5 to 10 years' time. And they are intentional about the fact that they don't want their kids they don't want their kids to be petrol attendants. Therefore, they are planning today what must happen to those kids tomorrow. As we speak, there's a guy who just bought a car that he barely affords, but it's expensive. It's going to make us clap for him, because we are not intentional enough. There is nothing wrong with the system. Even if the system was set up by Amangamla, even if the system was set up by other people who want to keep us oppressed, it is our decisions that keep us oppressed.
So again, I push back in the sense of we grinding.
Yeah.
So for us, there's a reason why. There's a privilege that got us to this point.
Yeah.
But when we look at what is there for the majority,
I think when you use the word privilege, you're taking away the choices we needed to make that other people are making.
Be that as it may,
they're hard choices.
Privilege could be your cognitive strength and ability.
Sure.
Like height. Their height could be their privilege.
Oh, and I just said that the word privilege makes it seem like
you have
gifted
to.
Oh, privilege.
Oh, no.
The word privilege.
I get that. No, fact. No, I'm saying sometimes we find ourselves preaching to the converted or preaching to the choir, and we sit in, and I want to call it privilege in the sense of I find myself with other eagles, with other lions. So when we speak like this, we're like, obvious. So then we actually start speaking life, and you hear how they speak to their kids. Now we speaking like, and we find ourselves in those places. But then you go back to the reality and you say, 70% of higher education is female, 30% is male. Of that 30%, how many speak to black male? So there's clearly something. And it's not good we're trying to give people a scapegoat and trying to justify. We're saying,
yeah.
Because there's people that are legit stuck.
Yeah.
Tina, we know our next step. I know how my tomorrow's going to look like. My kids, there's cricket, there's basketball trials from there.
You don't come from privilege. You don't come from money.
I don't come from money.
Yeah.
I come from privilege. I don't come from money.
Privilege. From wherever you come from, it was some smaller privilege. You can't compare the privilege that you have with Indwana Zamanganda, for example, who have
Can I tell you what I want to unpack with this word privilege?
Okay.
And I think that's where we miss it.
Yeah.
Okay? I think the obvious factor is always the resource, the financial. For me, the privilege that came, what I say, that was different from anyone else. I had a mother that believed like no other. And you see some people whose parents really took a back seat. I come from a space where the nuclear family was tight beyond anything. So when I'd see my friends, even the ones that had a father at home and what, they didn't have this support that I had. They didn't have that connection, that family, that bond. And for me, that was my wealth that propelled me to take risks.
Is the world are things for us as Otaki so bad? Uguti, having a mother who cares for you is a privilege.
Yes. Oof. Yes. That's the sad reality.
You see, so Minagi, my question is, you had that privilege.
Yes.
But there were times when your life was so hard, you could have just given up.
Yes.
But you didn't.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with your mother and the privilege that she came with. Support. You decided, I'm not going to give up. You decided, Baf, I'm not going to give up. My grandfather decided a long time ago, Mina, I don't know a difficult time in my life. I don't know what it's like to go to bed hungry. I don't know what it's like to not have clothes or shoes, because my grandfather, a long time ago, who was an orphan, paid the price. He said, not my kids. My kids will not live the life that I'm living. He educated my mothers. He educated my uncles. All of us were afforded a good education, not the best.
No, of
a
course.
good education by our parents, because my grandfather paid the price. My mother gave me a good education. Back in the days, I was going to what do you call them, mama boarding schools, which at the time was seen as good education. Because my grandfather paid the price for her and she paid the price for me. My question is, instead of us complaining about the system, what are we thinking about in the next 15 to 20 years' time? You and I, corporate government. Forget about the government. Forget about Ombalula. Forget about Opanyaza. Forget about everybody else in our black communities. What is Penson and Mlotshwa doing? What is Ukibina doing? What is Mthabela doing for Ntwana Isekasi, of whom it would be a privilege if I can say, Ntwana, what do you need? Let me mentor you for the next 5 years.
Can you segue that into your life? There's a part of your life that hit me when you're speaking. Ngiyacela bandla, can we start from the beginning? When you uzalwa ngo 1950 ba?
Ingane zami zithi zingi 1.7 because I was born in 1977.
I actually saw, I was like, you are fresh.
Yeah, I was born in 1977.
Because I saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
Fresh. Clean.
Yeah, so this year...
Because you younger than Eminem. Younger than Kanye West.
Now he's going too far.
but it's also a lifestyle thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
But there was a time where it nearly...
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
and
so...
you made a decision.
Yeah, I made a decision.
We need to speak about this thing of that one sacrifice. Because if you... Every single story that we always come across will always go back to
Taking
one or
left
two people.
right.
No, it will always have one person that made a decision for things to be better for the next generation.
Yeah.
In every single story. Every single story. Because even the story with your old lady, it was probably a decision at some stage.
Yeah.
Which has no matter what. My kids, no matter what it takes.
The reason
I'll make sure.
why I wanted to hone in on moving away, because I wanted to remove the financial excuses that we make.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that we say.
Yeah.
You know, because Tini Oleti, it's us with the little salaries by 3, plus cousins, plus... So with one financial thing. So if I just purely look at it from a financial point, yes, as we were poor. Poor.
Yeah.
But if I look at it from a support structure, hopefully whoever's watching here can say, okay, Oleti can't afford to All-Star, but ukwazi ukuthi siye wherever store second hand, that's love. Oh, let me take that energy and use that.
Now for the homework. Ngama weekend ahamba ama funeral, akahambi
No,
ama society.
but I think you should have umthandazo, boy. Some people don't understand. They take those things for granted.
Yeah.
Because khona ungathandazelwa ekseni. Khona ungabeka isandla ethandazelwe nje ekseni nje.
That's very
So when I oshiwe ngalokho, take that and use that to propel. Because that is a privilege that others don't have.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Minyar, we need to go back. We have to go back. There's so much power and lessons and wisdom in your upbringing.
Yeah.
Please, can you take us back?
Yeah, Mina, my parents were young when they had me. So I was typically raised by my grandparents, ugogo nomkhulu. But they came from a generation where they didn't have parents born herself.
Okay.
Life was tough. Umkhulu, they didn't have parents. There's a very long history with him.
Where are they from?
From KZN.
Okay.
Yeah, from KZN. But Umkhulu, my grandfather was such a great man. In Randfontein, there's a street called Mzolo Road. It was named after my grandfather, Umzolo.
Oh, wow.
So he got a job here in Johannesburg, came here, and then went back to KZN. And then Umkhulu was intentional about family because of where he came from. He doesn't come from a family structure, a solid family structure. So he made sure that he creates a solid family structure for him and his kids.
Yes.
So my mother was educated. She was a teacher from a university, Ongoye. My uncles also went to universities. My grandfather was intentional about raising them to have a solid education and a solid future. And me, I come from young parents, but they ugogo nomkhulu afforded me the education that I needed when my parents were still young, until they took over when I was older. So how I know about being a man and being a father and I learned a majority of that from my grandmother and my grandfather. To a point uguthi my grandfather used to say Mngami when he called my grandmother, my wife, Mngami. I realized at some point when I met my wife that I was calling him Mngami when we got married. Because I had that privilege of seeing my grandfather. To my grandfather, you see all these cupboards. My grandfather made sure every cupboard had food. And there was an extra cupboard outside that had extra food. And my grandmother used to complain, why are you buying so much food? Because he was dealing with his trauma. But he wanted to fix it for his kids.
What a beautiful way to deal with that trauma.
You see, he made a decision. Let's go back to the issue. At some point as a person, you need to come to a point where you say, okay, this is the situation that I'm facing. This is the system that is rigged against me. Yeah. What do I do? These are the cards that I'm dealt by life. These are the cards that I have. How do I maximize these cards to make sure ngihlula uno 9 with diamond? 10 mama. You know? So I think education here it needs to get us to a point where we deal with the mind. The mind is the most important thing to deal with. I asked this question the one time when I heard some people speaking about economic freedom in our lifetime. And I asked myself, Uti, what are we doing in terms of economic education? Yes. So that we can afford that economic freedom in our lifetime? Because some of the people who have had a privilege of having money in this dispensation of the new government, they've lost everything.
Because there's no education.
Because they did not have the financial education. If we think at some point we're ever going to take over economically, there needs to be some kind of economic emphasis on economic education, which I don't see happening. Because Amachitekers are struggling. Like you're saying, some guys are really stuck. But who is going to unstuck them? It's you and I. By helping Lizzie and Tuana to start with 5 boys, just get 5 boys around. Every month, sit down with them, buy divorce for 200 rands, buy meat for 200 rands, buy amalashe, and tell them to make the fire, fry the meat. Guys, let's talk. How's it going? Hey, no, man, I'm struggling. Hey, so-and-so dumped me. No, Tuana, it happens. Some of these boys, in fact, that are going to end up in prison. I know because I do prison ministry. Sometimes we go to the juvenile section. All that these boys need, if you ask them, how was the situation in Ghana? No, there was no father. A father figure, you and I, all we need is to say, Ntwana, I'm here. What do you need? I love soccer. Okay, I'll buy you soccer boots. I don't have money, but wait for April. I'll buy you soccer boots in April. That boy, I promise you, that boy will make sure he doesn't disappoint you. If he sees you drinking, he will drink. If he sees you messing up, he will mess up because he looks up to you. So instead of us always looking at the government, this government, the government is busy. You see, politics, there are international politics, there are games that are played at an international level that we will never understand. If we are looking to them for solutions, we are going to wait a long time. The question is, what are you doing? What are you doing? What am I doing? When you start making those millions, bruh, you can take 100 kids to a university. And I'm not saying us black people, we are not doing those things, but the amount of us who are doing it is so small.
Yeah.
The solutions to our problems lie with us. Your mindset, you need to transfer that to a younger person like us, who still thinks they need to have 20. I met this young man who says, he says, his aim was at the age of 27, he needed to have 7 kids with 7 different women because that's what he saw.
I know someone that's also.
Why can't we show abantwana bethu a different side of life? Why can't we adopt these 5 boys and say, Ntwana, I see you started drinking. Let me tell you about alcohol. Yes, maybe I drink, but let me tell you about this. What we need is for us ourselves to become mentors to Ntwana zethu. But we are living in an era of podcasts. Almost everybody has a podcast.
Yeah.
But what are we saying? What is our intention with the podcasts that we are sending out there? What are we teaching our kids with these tools? This is the arsenal that we have. There was a scene in the movie Troy. This guy comes and he tries to recruit Achilles.
Yeah.
He comes in, he uses his words to try and recruit him to his side. And then he says, I see what you're doing. Yeah. And then the man says, you have your swords, I have my words.
Yeah.
What do you have in your arsenal to change your situation? Mbetu, I can't wish I was a yellow bone to sort my problem. No, I'm just making an example. Mbetu,
Yellow melo.
I want to see if I was light in complexion, like a Penson, but you are not.
Yeah, like why is there even a conversation? Yeah.
What do you have that you can use? I love the conversation that God has with Moses. God tries to recruit Moses to say, Exe, go and release my people. Moses starts making excuses. Says, no, but Mina, you know,
Moses.
I can't even speak. Why don't you send my brother who speaks better? My brother looks better. My brother is tall. My brother has got presence. And God says, Mfuna we, and I want you to go there. And then he says to him, what do you have in your hand? And Moses literally carried a rod. God says to him, what do you have in your hand? He says, no, it's just a rod. He says, throw it down. It becomes a snake. He says, take it back. He takes it back. It becomes a rod again. My question is, what is it that you have that you may not even realize is an asset to change your life around?
Azizohamba sesisindisiwe la.
Hayi ngizomamukela uJesu namhlanje.
Awuphinde ngozitshwala.
But then again, think about it. If we are Phuza and Phuza kule podcast yakho and kunentwana uncanywa blind.
Azobushaya.
Exactly. And you are responsible for his blood.
Just stop making excuses and blaming the system.
We system.
And he is creating the system by having a podcast.
Yeah, I don't know for sure.
So manje umuntu ohlele endlini uzodla lento besidudla uzoblame thina.
That is why they use famous people to put these things so that whoever sees you consuming it will also consume it.
You're not a role model here.
Unfortunately, you don't ask people who take.
You don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Once you expose yourself,
you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
it's done there.
Yeah.
Can I? And again, I'm gonna keep trying to go back fast, just to talk about your journey, because I was listening. It was playing in the background, so I wasn't listening.
Yeah.
Until such time you spoke about taking a short left in life.
Yeah.
And I think that spoke to me, and it speaks to many young men.
Yeah.
Who've taken that route, and how long. Okay, so you're young, you grew up in KZN.
Yeah.
Kuliso Koko. And then
at some point I grew up.
Where in KZN?
I was born at Showe.
Okay.
And grew up at Mandeni and grew up at Clermont.
Okay.
At Clermont, I spent a lot of time at Clermont as well, living with my relatives, my uncles and my mamnganes. At some point, it was around the days of Boys to Men, Shy, Silk,
of course.
You know, and we used to love, there's a movie, Nino Brown, New Jack City. So we used to love the American lifestyle. So even how we walked, the Kasi. So we called ourselves the Hammer Boys. We were a group of boys, of course. After MC Hammer. Some of my friends were, and my brothers were able to dance.
Hammer time.
Nah, Hammer time. So we were those guys, guys. And you know, it was all about we wear the clothes we were wearing. It's Dwadlo. It was around the days of pepper jeans, green jeans, purple jeans, yellow jeans, and striped shirts. Auna pepe, auna striped shirt, uyinja. You know, it was back in those days. Thina bese masiqhamuka kuculwe uzwe amapantsule kasi asiwafuna matsatsatsa. You know the song? You remember the song?
I don't remember that song.
You don't know the song?
I don't remember that song.
Asiwafuna matsatsatsa. Ow.
I remember that song.
Hey, Tick.
I remember that song.
No, I mean, I know. I forgot.
Do you remember the dance Sky Bait at least?
No. No, hey. There's two groups
Hey,
of
umuntu
people.
useneyingane la. Ntshebe.
Nawe
Ntshebe uyangiphoxa.
Put on the whole podcast.
So anyway, it was back in those days where it was about being friends, you know.
Yeah.
Then we started experimenting with alcohol. Then we started with the soft drinks, you know, but my crowns, my crossbow cider.
It is there I know it
We
is
started
true.
with the
Yeah.
ciders.
of
So we
course.
put the money together and then we realized, guys,
I shy a little.
no, there's too many of us. In my gang, we were like 7 or 8. No, man, this is too expensive. Let's get a bottle. Yeah, let's get brandy. Then brandy. We all gonna get drunk.
Yeah.
You know, and this was in the days of Ekasi. There used to be beauty pageants.
Yes.
So that whenever there was a beauty pageant, my friends then would come and dance, and you know, we were entertainers. We were just those guys.
Hammer Boys.
And then we started experimenting with other things. Some of my friends, then we started branching to alcohol. Some of us started smoking weed. Others started taking serious drugs. Others, of course, they were girls.
Yeah.
Others started started
high
with the
school
crime. Yeah, high school. Others of us started with the crime. We became criminals. I'll say we because all of us. But then again, the issue of where you come from, the home, always played a part because even though I was living that life, Mina knew with a Sunday morning, we are going to church.
You have a base.
So there was still a conscious as well. Then.
There was still that. For me, church has played a very important role because even when I was living a very dark life, at the back of my mind, it was the thing that there's a line that you can never cross. I got to a place at some point and people were smoking cocaine, were sniffing a cocaine. And I was like, what is this now? I only see this thing in the movies. And they're like, no, Muzi, we've got a line for you. Something in me just said, hey, Baba, this is the line that you don't cross. So it was back in those days and we were the Hammer Boys and we are living that life. And then we got hooked into alcohol. Then I fell in love with alcohol. At some point, we were smoking weed, you know. But I realized when I came to Johannesburg, living away from my parents, Uguti,
Can I pour you some Coke?
yes, please.
Let me just wash my hands. You want to? Can I just get you in a glass? Just want to wash my hands quickly.
No, you can put it here. It's fine.
But there's no ice. Or you're going to grab?
No, it's cool. So we began to live that life of being a machitasekasi and we began to be careless with our lives. We had dreams, you know, back in those days of Nino Brown, back in the days of Boys to Men. So we also wanted to be famous, to be musicians, to be soccer players. But the more I consumed Utwala and I lived the lifestyle that I was living, I realized that the way you are living your life, you're not going to make it to the finish line. I realized that I needed to make some adjustments. And for me, it was easier to quit Intsangu after 9 years of smoking it than it was to quit alcohol because I loved alcohol. I enjoyed it. So for me to quit it, there had to be a divine intervention because...
How old are you now? Because when you say 9 years of smoking weed, I'm assuming now you're deep in your 20s.
I think I was 25, 26.
When you stopped weed?
When I stopped weed, yeah. I was 27 when I stopped weed because that's when I met my wife. So when I met her, I realized this is not going to stand for this nonsense. You must either lose this thing or lose the woman.
Which is, yeah.
Yeah, so I stopped smoking. But drinking took me a long time to quit. I would quit for like 6-7 months and then I would celebrate with a cold one. you know.
Yeah.
So it took me a very long time for me to quit alcohol, because even when I went back to church, when I realized that, daughter, you need to fix your life. If you need to accomplish your dreams and your goals in life, change your life around.
When
so I
you
went back to church.
What do you mean by going back to?
I left church, man.
You left church.
I left church. I was a youth leader, and then I came to Johannesburg. I was a leader of the young adults. And
When did you come to Joburg? Straight after school?
1999, July 7. It was a Wednesday.
How old
were you? 1977.
I was born 1988.
Yeah, I'm from
Okay, but 1999.
I'm from standard 2, grade 4. Yeah. Mina ngaqala usap A 95, 96, 97. Hey, standard kwaku grade 5. Yeah.
When is grade 5? People are coming to Jozi to hustle when is grade 5.
So
Yeah.
1995, where were
I'm
you?
from usap A grade 1.
I was doing my first year in tertiary.
You
could be my son, actually. If I had a child at varsity, then child could be my son. No, I would be traumatized. No. I'm glad I delayed. Yo, guys, today I'm interviewing my dad.
In the kitchen.
Get up with the pops.
No. Yeah. So it was around those days. And in 1999, I was 22 when I came to Johannesburg.
Okay.
And I was already living that kind of a life. But I realized, because I think what helped me as well, what was a privilege for me, was falling in love with self-help and motivational books when I was younger.
Okay.
I read my first motivational book, I think I was 19 years old. It was my father's book. It was called Think Like a Winner. That book revolutionized.
Think Like a Winner.
Think Like a Winner, by Dr. Doyle Walter Staples. Walter Doyle Staples. When I read that book, I realized that no, man, the most important thing in life is your gedachte, how you think. So I began to read books about the power of the mind. I read there's a book about the power of the subconscious mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. You know, so then I fell in love with the mind, how the mind works. The majority of our problems
Is in the mind.
God has nothing to do with it. It's the mind.
And sisters have got nothing to do with it as well.
That's true.
That is true.
Nothing will change
that is very
until
true.
this changes.
Yeah.
You know? So for me, I think what also made me realize that I was going off course was realizing that, you know, the things that you're reading about, that if that is your goal, you're not going to get there.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
And this
sir.
is maybe a little sneaky question.
Yeah.
Esondweni, you in charge of a youth?
Esontweni, I'm just an ordinary church member. I don't have any positions.
So coming to Joburg, what were you in the church?
I joined a new church. I was
Yes.
still a Catholic back in those days.
Yes.
But then I was elected to be a youth leader. But then I left the Catholic Church
Okay.
when I started going.
Lempilo.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because of the things that you might have seen.
Yeah.
in that
It was
space.
definitely the things that I saw in church.
Because I can tell you now, Guti, a lot of us were raised in church.
Yeah.
And what happens, like any other space, is if you stay there long enough, you start seeing the cracks on the wall.
Yeah.
You know, and once you're getting to a certain stage and you start seeing things for what they are,
Yeah.
it either pulls you closer to it,
Yeah.
or you actually start rebelling.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of us who get part of the youth spaces, and then all of a sudden you're in a space where you're seeing that lady with that guy doing things, or that person with that person doing, and
Or
you're
that
like,
priest.
or that priest with that
Yeah.
high school, and
But I
all of
think
a
majority
sudden,
of people is not that reason though.
no, not majority. I'm saying with it, there's a lot.
Okay,
Not
cool,
with it most or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there's a lot of people who go into the space and say, I came in here because I want to repent. I want to become a better version of myself. But it feels as if I've thrown myself into the fire, because there'll be spaces. There'll be those youth tours,
Yeah.
or those youth trips. I don't know if you've ever... But there's certain churches, and again, I'm not saying all churches, guys. Please don't
Yeah.
get us wrong.
Yeah.
But there are churches where, when the youth is away for that weekend,
Zakar.
Yeah.
It
Crazy
is.
things happen. Yeah.
It's I don't know, you might as well just go partying it up.
Yeah.
And it becomes that. And if you're one of those people who are actually in that space because you are seeking that spiritual growth, that can be very off-putting and that can push you away from church? Was that potentially one of?
Yes. So you see, if you come to church and then you go home, you'll never see the politics in church. So when I became a youth leader, I began to see things that I was not supposed to see, or things that really broke my spirit as a young person. Me, I wasn't going to church because my parents said, let's go to church. I loved church. I loved God as a young boy, which is why from a very young age, I've always wanted to be a priest, a Catholic priest. So I loved church. Church was my world. We would go to, like you are saying, our youth meetings. We'd go to youth meetings on Fridays. We'd go to youth meetings on Saturdays. We were planning things. We were scheming. We were leaders. We were learning so much about life until you see that actually church people are not perfect. And yes, it was the church people that were a problem, but then again, I was also a problem because I put my faith in people and in the systems. I was young. But when you grow and you read the Bible more for yourself and you begin to understand the doctrines of the Bible, then you begin to open your mind. Like even now, I'm still learning new things about God, about walking with God, about living your life as a child of God. I'm still learning new things. I'm like, hey, but this God is so ginormous. He's so great. You can't finish him. You can't get to a point where you think you understand him completely. As long as in an organization there are human beings, there's going to be problems, even if it's the church. Church people are hurt people. Sometimes we take people just because Muzi's Velela TV, he goes to church, you are already making him a leader. But this person is hurting.
They're here for a reason.
He's bruised.
He's here for a reason, yeah.
And I loved a sermon by one pastor in my church one day. He says, when people come to church, regardless of who they are out there, don't take people manje. I'll use a bad word. It's not a real word. Don't take people and celebratize them when they come to church. People come to church because they are broken. They just want to have a relationship with God. And then when you want to give them a big position, but they are not even ready for it.
Not even a selfie. When you give someone who is young, it's like a young convert who was in a secular world. He converts and then already he's preaching in church. Oh, got you.
That person must sit down, and keep quiet,
and heal.
Learn the proper doctrine. Who is God? Who is Christ? What is salvation?
Got you.
What is this all about? Then the next thing, so umuntu says all over the place, but you don't even understand what salvation is. It's the same thing as people who say, I was a Satanist for so many years, and then I was converted. Immediately, 2 weeks later, this guy who was converted last weekend is already preaching. What is he preaching? Because all that he understands, his mindset is on the kingdom of darkness. So even if he speaks about God, he speaks from a mind frame of darkness. Sit down, be taught, learn. Only maybe 5 years later, you can start speaking because, manje, you are speaking a doctrine. You are not speaking with, hey, in the kingdom of darkness, we pussycats. We don't want to hear about people drinking blood. We want to hear about why are we here? Who is Jesus? Who is God? Who is the Holy Spirit? How is that all helping me?
Where do you think Christians have a difficulty balancing the outer world and what the book says and the church?
I'll speak about myself, particularly as a public figure.
Okay,
let me not say public figure, as an actor in particular.
Okay.
I found it very difficult, Mina, when I became an actor, to balance the Christianity, or let me not say Christianity, to balance my relationship with God and to balance celebrity. Because celebrity booty, promote yourself. Take your best selfie, promote that, show the world how amazing you are. Take your clip from whatever was playing last night and show the world what an amazing actor you are. Put on a nice suit and show the world, look at how nice the suits look for me. Is there any sponsor for suits out there? Because you must promote yourself.
The outer world.
Yeah. You come ngapha, the Bible says you must die. The first thing that God wants to do with you when you are saved, he wants to kill you because you are full of nonsense, which is why you sin. So God wants to kill that. He wants to. There's a friend of mine, Mthabela. I usually say when I pray, I say to God, "Baba ngcangate." Uyakwazi ukucangata when you take steel and you hammer it until it becomes what God wants. My friend says, no, that's too harsh. You can't ask God to do that. You know. So you need to be refashioned by God. So that's why now you need to die to self. I can't come to church and be the guy from television. I can't come to church and be Mr. Generations. I must come to church and humble myself and allow God to take the scalpel, remove my pride, remove my arrogance.
But for some of us that can't see that side yet,
yeah.
Is it not for us to see what God is using you and your celebrity status in order to bring us closer to you so that can then be preached
we can
to
get
us?
to know Him.
Yes.
That's exactly why.
So it's important for you to do that selfie so we can like and follow.
Which is why I'm saying, for me, it was difficult to balance the two. Promoting myself as an actor, but also remaining humble, rooted in the word, also remaining Christ-like. Because Jesus says, you must decrease so that He may increase. Ngapha, increase wena. You don't even wait. You don't wait for someone to increase the volume. You know. So for me, it was that difficulty of trying to balance between being humble and selfless and being proud and self-advertising, self-promoting.
Because for me, every time you can.
Because
every time I see your brand, if I can call it that, it's almost like how do we word it? I'm not the best person to talk about religion because for me a lot of it also can be very negative.
Yeah.
But it's also like a very attractive brand. Only for me to actually lend an ear. Because for me it's hard to lend an ear to someone who's going to be telling me about Corinthians and Psalms, but the brand pulls me and I'm listening so attentively. And then it's almost like now you're speaking to the soul. So it's like, no, but must do more of you so that we get attracted to the light. Then you can do more for what you've been sent to do.
Yeah. You see, that's a very interesting observation and a very important one. It was not always like that. The more you get to know Christ and the person of Christ and who He was, I'll make a simple example. Jesus goes to the woman by the well. You know, when He asked for water, He goes to that woman. He already understood the fact that this woman comes during the day, in the midday, to fetch water. When everybody else fetches water in the morning, already there's a problem here. Why is this one being ostracized in the society? She's a problem. So He already knew that this woman, which is why at some point He asked, where's your husband? She says, I don't have a husband. He says, yes, I know. You've had 5 of them, and the one that you live with is not yours. So already Jesus knew that I'm dealing with a sinner here, and I can scan her and see what her sin were. But He didn't say, if you don't repent, you will go to hell, you will burn. I was like that. I was a hellfire preaching kind of a person. Yeah.
Come to God.
Come to God. Come to God. I was that guy. I was that guy until I saw a scripture. You see, Romans chapter 1 speaks about the sins of men. All of us are responsible in that. We are victims of that.
But muzima ukhuluma ivesi ungabheki lo. Akazi iRomans into enjani. Wena wazama Romans.
Ngiyasebenza la nceke ungiyeke. Ngiyasebenza la. I'm intentional.
Yazi mawukhuluma so. Kumele ize ngayinhle. Kumele ijabule into yokukhuluma ize la.
Mina ngisekerk mina Sunday. Mina ngisekerk Sunday.
No sovula ibandla nenceke. Sovula ibandla nenceke. Bishop lo. So until I saw a verse in Romans chapter 2, God talks about all of these things. You are backstabbing each other. You are busy with each other's wives. And then in chapter 2, He says, but you who read this, don't think you are
exempt or
you are exempted from this. Because you used to practice these things that you too are a sinner. I used to use this scripture as an axe with which to grind other people until I realized that actually the scripture is not an axe or hambukaula ngasabantu. This scripture is a mirror where you look at yourself.
Phela sifuna ukuba accountable Binyer.
No. That's the thing. We don't want to be accountable.
Sifuna
But the
ukublame
scripture is about me looking at the scripture and seeing the grace of God and realizing that I cannot be perfect like this scripture is asking me. That is why I need a savior. That is why I need Christ.
Binyer, right now we're talking about your life njengali Bible siyangapha. Wafike goal
Yeah.
4
Yeah.
July Wednesday 1999.
Yes, sir.
Wawunali dread back
Yes,
then.
I had dreadlocks and I was a weed smoking, dread wearing Rasta Jamani.
When you say Rasta, you're saying Rasta in terms of just unet dread smoking weed, or did you start dabbling into the
I began to dabble into Ubu Rasta.
Okay.
I began to learn about them, what they are teaching, what is their doctrine, and I didn't like what I saw, and I decided, okay, Gabiya Ubu Rasta. Let me look for something else.
What didn't you like that misaligned with you at that time?
It's unscriptural. A lot of what Amaras are saying, even though they quote scripture, is unscriptural. It's unbiblical.
I don't understand.
Amarasta analento yewu, okay. Let me not just say Amarasta auto. I have a problem with a religion that perpetrates or that pushes the agenda of racism, colorism, xenophobia, or any other kind of a division among human beings. I understand, for example, let me just make an example about South Africa. We come from an era where Afrikaners oppressed us, took the land, took everything. But for me, as a Christian, I cannot hate them.
But a lot of them used the Bible to separate us.
I'm glad you said they used the Bible. The Bible doesn't promote it, but it was a tool that was used. I can use a gun to protect my family, or I can use my gun to shoot you because uthanda amantombazane mina wangithanda. So a Bible nalo was used. But when you begin to study the Bible as it is, then you realize you cannot be, white people are my brother. Indian people are my brother. Chinese are my brother.
Whether they see you like that or
Whether they see me like that or not. Which is why for me, the moment when I hear someone like Dr. Uma Johnson,
Yes.
very intelligent man, very knowledgeable, but I have a problem with the fact that we are pushing the gospel of separation.
Yes.
You cannot separate us as people. I saw this one video the one time on TikTok that says, this interview is just too real. So it's this guy interviewing a devil. Of course, it's a guy wearing a mask.
Yeah.
But the devil said in this video, when you hate each other as races, not realizing that there's actually only one race, the human race.
Steve Biko.
I am happy to see white people provoking the black people and the black people hating on them and wishing every kind of evil against them. Usatane, when we are fighting, all of us, this is what it does.
Pascal.
He watches us. It's a movie for him. It's a movie for him. And for him, it's a movie that he goes back to God and say, this is what you died for. We have valid reasons as black people to hate white people. But biblically, God is saying, you can't hate each other. You are all my kids.
Even though someone else has wronged you.
You have kids, right? Do they fight?
All
Do
the
they
time.
do they hurt each other?
All the time.
And then they come to you and say, Baba,
No. Yeah.
and they expect that you must beat them because you are on their side.
Cool.
But God is on all our side. And
No, they hate that.
Yeah. And they hate it. The same way we hate it when somebody tells me I have to love amabhunu. Mthabela uyahlanyaya manje. Uyalele iBhayibheli lakhe seliyamhlanyisa manje. Mfethu amabhunu mfethu asihlukumeza mfethu they killed us. But the truth is, how many people have we killed ourselves?
Self.
How do we get to that point? We spoke about it last week when we were speaking about family. When we had a coast.
Yeah.
And you were saying which there's dynamics in the family that separates, and that's family.
Yeah.
I would assume
Oh,
that
you
family is
mean-
closer than certain. How do we get to that level of understanding or empathy?
It's just that it gets to a point where it begins to sound like, nah, it's just spirituality, but it's not impractical. The solution is love.
It's
Love.
But the heart is full of hate because you've been hurting me my whole life.
That's why you need to learn to love, because you learned to hate. You were not born hating.
But if you're abusing me emotionally, psychologically, physically, my whole life, and again, I'll talk about myself. Like, let's say, Itai Malam. How do I get to that point where I start going on that journey of healing in order to learn how to love? When I've been...
Can't you just heal and not love him?
That's
Or
not
the next
healing.
person who hurt you?
Love heals. Mfowethu, love is the most powerful power on earth or in the entire universe. I'm just being poetic
And also the
now.
most dangerous as well. Because even in love, you can kill someone.
Only human love. Maybe then we begin to differentiate between the loves.
Oh, okay. All right.
But if we learn, if only we saw other people the way God sees them, we would learn to love them. Because sometimes we deface ourselves just so we can hate somebody else. And the impact of hatred in your own heart, the heart, when you accommodate hatred, just so I can hate Penson because he did 1, 2, and 3 to me. And I'm justified, and everybody understands why you hate this guy. We all know why you hate him. And we all understand why you have to hate this guy. But for your own sake, I have to let go of the hatred. I have to learn to love this guy.
Do I need to go and express that love to that person who's hurt me? Or I can just sit with love and the
if you have
forgiveness?
truly forgiven.
Or truly forgiveness is sitting
because
down.
this thing of saying, Uti, yeah, bro, you know what? I forgive you, but yeah, no, we are not friends anymore. No, that's not forgiveness. That's not love. That's why we need God to help us to get to that place, because we are all fallen. You can't love your enemy by your own strength, by your own power. You need the help of the Holy Spirit to do that.
I'm working in progress. I can't. There's people Minangempela, I can't. Because it's such a hard thing to grasp just from mentally. If you're going to say, Wuti, Lama Pono Laba that killed our people in the thousands and
Millions.
in the millions and rig the system so that they can thrive and we can eat scraps. Now we need to change
what's
our
scary?
framing
When you go back
and
in
let
history.
go of that.
You know what's scary?
Yes.
We taught them racism. Because there was a time when Egypt was a superpower over the world, the whole world. And we oppressed them. We taught them how to do it. They learned and they mastered it. They do it better. Am I Egyptians? They oppressed people.
Of course.
Who were those people that they oppressed? Was it black people? Because the original Egyptians is Lambili ngenza like Ubani ke lo ndiza la. Ilast born. So if you go back in history, you realize that everything, okay, maybe not everything, but a majority of what the world knows in terms of technology, it began in Egypt. Because when you look at the hieroglyphics, you see they used to have globes for electricity. And it was here in Africa. And when Alexander the Great invaded Egypt, for example, he used to shoot the noses of the Sphinx and all of those things because it was the heads of people with a flat nose like you and I. So when we were the superpower, what did we do? We oppressed the whole world, including the Israelites.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to go
They
for
took it, they mastered it, and they sent it back to us, back to sender.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I guess it's with everything. Whether it's the Shaga story,
Yeah.
there was an oppression of someone else.
How many people did he kill?
Is the Mshosha story?
form
It's
the
everywhere.
But
nation.
again, from my point, I'm not mad at people that still harboring hatred for Usha and what he did. I'm saying, Wuti, how do we get to a point where, as you're saying, we learn to let go and we heal through love and we love, deliberately and we express it to our so-called enemies? How do we get to that point?
Realize that you are in prison and you carry the key to get yourself out. And the key is love and forgiveness.
Yes, yeah, poetic. It's
It's poetic but real. You are in a prison of hatred. And hatred does something to you spiritually as a person. it kills your ability to connect with God. The aim of man is oneness with God, is to be godlike, is to be Christ-like. But you cannot achieve that when you carry a hatred in your hands, when God is offering you his gift of salvation by you opening your hand, let go of a hatred. But God is saying, you are in prison, but you carry the key. And I have already given you the keys of the kingdom. That's what Jesus says. God has already given us the keys to set ourselves free.
Dread always running. Wakhona ngicabanga uvula isandla ngathi ayisana ngazivula kodwa hayi ngeke hayi.
You see,
With 30
the
minutes.
power of the mind.
Oh, okay.
The power of the mind.
Sure.
You are saying, I can't do it.
That's
And
a
because-
decision.
That's a decision.
Because you are
That's
saying it.
That's a decision.
Yeah.
You are creating it.
Yeah, that's true.
This is one of the things that we don't understand as people, the power of the mind and the power of the subconscious mind. You are who you are because of the stuff that you have stored here in your subconscious mind. All that you need to do to reprogram your subconscious mind is to begin to think in a new way, to begin to think differently. So a majority of us, we are in situations where we are because we have not decided, I have had enough. I'm using my keys.
This would be
finally.
such an interesting exercise on a personal level. Before I get strong enough or at that level where you start thinking about all those people that rubbed you the wrong way. There's no real hate. It's just mom board and you. And
Some
to
of those
learn-
people were your teachers, though.
right?
How do you learn to forgive unless there's something to forgive?
Right?
How do you learn to love unless there's something to love? Thina sifuna nje kuhleze kumnandi nje kuhleze kuChristmas. Life is not a Sunday afternoon. I need my enemies to teach me some of the things that my friends
Can't
could never
teach you,
teach me.
yeah.
You know how much we need our enemies. Hey, you need your enemies because they can tell you, hey man, Mthabela, your breath stinks. Bangazongitshela wena unomlomo.
But
But your friends are with you the whole time. They can't tell you, hey, bruh. But your enemies can tell you, hey. So we all need every experience that we go through. Some of our teachers are teaching us lessons that we would rather not learn, but they are teaching us nonetheless.
It's a painful truth. You need
But
to face it.
There are people who will change in life by you learning to love them. And I know what I've done for you, what I've done to you. I was watching this podcast this one time. These two white guys in America, they were interviewing this Nigerian lady. And she has the privilege of having encounters with Christ. So this lady said, so Jesus says to him, Mthabela, to the lady, he says, Mthabela, I need you to go and tell Ulokuzana Penson that I love her. And I need you to love him. And I'm like, but Lord, you know what this person did to me. And Jesus says to her, I know. But I want Penson to be saved. But I needed him to be in your radar so that I could send you to him. But how? But God, you mean you had to let this guy hurt me so much? And then Jesus says to her, if you go and show him love, he will know Uguti, you are different from everybody else who hates me because I did bad things to them. But she will begin to crack when you show her love regardless of what she's done to you. So because she's now in your radar and she knows what she did to you and she knows that you are supposed to hate her, but you come with a sincere love, then she can begin to ask you about me, your God. This lady says she tried, she started praying, and then she eventually went to this lady and said, you know what? For everything that you did to me, I forgive you. Guess what? I love you. And Jesus loves you. And she at first she thought, I know, it must be a joke. And then she eventually realized and felt the love that came from this lady. And she wanted, what kind of a person are you? I know what I did to you. How could you sincerely forgive me? When I need help, you really sincerely help me. What kind of a person are you? She says, I'm who I am because of this guy. She says, tell me more about this guy. Sometimes the price to pay for God to reach certain people is through us, because he knows that we're his strongest generals. The question is, are we willing to be those generals?
Uyavuma wena?
No, I'm not saying ukuthi you're a general. No, over time. But I'm saying that.
Why do you undermine Ingle?
Ngile undermine.
Ibishop leli. So xa ibandla nale nto.
With story.
With the wife, umama endlini. Is it India sesontweni? Is that how you guys met? The reason why I'm asking is because a lot of people say, yo, it's so hard getting into a relationship. You guys, she was 26, you were 27?
I was 27, she was 26.
She was 26, okay. So again, we have bucket loads of people that are saying, there's no good men out there, there's no good women out there. You have lived your life, very colorful.
Yeah.
But for some reason, wafigu mama, all of a sudden, you're like, okay, I need to start changing.
Yeah.
What is it that you saw in her that got you to make those decisions, and the lessons that we can learn as abantu of the world in Jegut? Okay, if I want to settle,
yeah. We all want to get umuntu that is amazing, that is. But the trick is, you have to be the amazing person. It's not about the other person here.
But you weren't amazing.
No, me, I'm not amazing.
No, then.
And I was not amazing then. I was bad news. But you said something interesting that I want to entertain before I answer you. You said there are people out there who say there are no good men out there. There are no bad men. There are no good women out there. As long as you are saying it, even if there is,
the power of words.
As long as Nina, Niti.
The word.
Don't weaponize my words.
It's a changing of the framing of the mind.
Exactly. Words create reality.
You have to change the framing.
Yeah. You have to first believe there are good women out there. And you have to believe that there's one for me out there. One of the prayers that I would say you must pray is, God, you know the right one for me. Please send him away. That was my prayer, when I was fall of umjolo. I'm like, God, I want to start a family now. I want to get a wife. I prayed. I said, God, I asked God for a wife. The interesting story, so we met at work with my wife. I was an editor of the Zola 7. I was done with the Zola 7 at the time. I was editing a show called Ikazlam. Where's Kazlam?
No. Anything TV at least, right?
So she came to she came to work in the finance department. But the interesting thing, when she tells me the story later, she had 3 job offers. She had 2 better offers, but somehow she decided to stay with the least paying offer. And that's where we met. The power of prayer.
No.
But we are a generation that has forsaken God and his power, and we have chosen instead to believe in our own power. Mind power, send your vibes to the universe and the universe. But we are powerful, but we are not that powerful. We still need God. So I prayed and said, God, help me. I ngifuni fro. And this is what happened. And this woman who was supposed to go to another company decided.
It's a paying job.
Decided, yeah. Interestingly, when I saw Uzanele for the first time, I was like, guys, that's my wife. She was the new girl at work, and I said, I'm going to marry this woman. And indeed, I dated her for a year, and I asked her for umshado.
A year?
Yeah, we dated for a year.
Hey, yeah, fit.
I knew we were umshado.
Hey, fit in Zulu. Hey, 10 years of dating.
After 10 years, you will still not be sure she's the right person.
That's true.
It's not about getting the right person. It's about making a decision, sticking to it, and saying, wait, let's make this work.
Is it not a financial thing as well?
No.
The world we are living in has made a god of money. Yeah. Everybody's out there to make money, regardless. People would rather be with people.
Because I know so many people that are scared of starting a family, not because they're not in love, Not because they're not too sure about this person.
No,
but they understand.
they're not with the right person.
No,
you,
but
yes,
hear me
probably
out.
you can
'Cause-
find a
'cause-
woman that
'cause-
will say to you,
Because it's not about the woman only. It's also about the families.
no, I hear you.
Yeah.
But just from you'll find a woman that will say to you, hey man, I don't want children. I want to make my own decisions very quickly. I want to go to Dubai now.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
want to
yes.
think about kids. She's been dating the guys that she's not sure of.
No, I
It will
agree.
take that one person. You're like, no, we can have kids in 6 months.
No,
I
I
never
agree.
been a flop. So I even think those guys, I don't think they're with the right person.
I'm that person.
Who's that?
Yeah, with the mem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met two members like she'll never have kids.
Yeah. You see, now you're proving my story.
4 months was too long. Hey.
Yeah.
No, I agree, and I'm saying there's so many beautiful things that I feel like sometimes we want to get married, but there is challenges with certain families. They're like you will not
There'll
live with
always
my.
be challenges.
Yeah, that's the thing about life, though.
Okay.
There is
There'll
no
always be
space in your
challenges.
life where there's no challenges.
Yeah.
There's never a blueprint where everything is perfect.
Yeah.
When access panini, relationship with your old lady, like there isn't
Just say home affairs
there
society,
isn't a
yabo.
space where everything is perfect.
The problem
Just that
is-
with this one, maybe it's a thing of you're thinking long term because now you must actually make the decision. But generally, there isn't spaces where things aren't difficult.
the problem is the problem-free philosophy.
Okay.
That one day I'll get to a place where
Everything is just
everything will be
roses.
fine.
And,
No,
yeah.
one day when I retire,
Singemali.
one day Singemali, I'll do one to.
Decision.
My grandfather, Protea Umasbugo, says life is what happens when you're still planning your life.
Yes.
When you're still saying, no, I want a wife like this one, and then your heart will just be stolen by a simple, ordinary woman that doesn't have anything that you thought you like in a woman. You'll be like, ish, slow. I'm from umshada. Umshada. There will be problems, but you say, you know what? My wife used to say to me, hey, Wendot, let's fix this problem. Don't just be angry. Mina even kwata mina first day mina being kwata mina. And bengileze Dubai ukungala. And she's like, "Hey baba, we are in this for a long haul."
Tubazan.
Yeah, don't Tubazan. And she would be like, "Hey baba, we are in this for a long haul. Let's sort this out." The journey that you travel on with your partner depends on you. You have to make yourself an emotionally, but in emotional intelligence.
Intelligent, yeah.
You have to make yourself emotionally intelligent. You have to invest in your own personal growth. You have to have a personal development program as a person. Let me just say, as a man, you have to have. Of course, as a woman as well.
That's disclaimer.
Siyakhuluma njengamajita.
Sure.
So njengomjita, you have to have a personal development program. You have to allow yourself to grow mentally. You have to allow yourself to grow spiritually, have a relationship with God, and not just a relationship where you are reciting prayers because somebody said. You have to know God for yourself. You have to seek God for yourself. Spend time with God because you are going to be a priest in your household and you're going to have to be a teacher of your kids and your wife, the things of God. So you have to grow mentally, you have to grow emotionally, and you have to grow spiritually. The problem with the majority of us, we think the other person is going to make me happy. Nobody was born to make you happy.
You know, you're right. One of my friends started going for counseling, married guy.
Yeah.
But in the first session, the psychologist, I'm a psychologist now, he's an outlaw, says to them, yeah, I've heard your problems, sharp. Ngala the second session, ngkhulume nani individually.
Yeah.
I just want to speak about personal growth. Because what I've seen is that both of you have this selfish thing that you expect the other person to grow.
Yeah.
But as any individual.
Yeah.
Then he started the session at I1. It's like, I'm telling you, what? And then they mentioned the aspect you're speaking about.
Yeah.
When a self, how are you growing? Outside of image.
Yes. Yeah.
We're not speaking about them.
Yeah.
Because they say that once you then change for self, you become a better person. It becomes contagious to the next person.
Yeah.
Now you're going, hey, lo muntu lo ngitreat-a grand, man."
Yeah.
Something just happens when now the person that has wronged you, which is maybe mediocre.
Yeah.
Now you're going, man is whether ngiyenzani lo muntu lona.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, then they did the same with image.
Yeah.
By session number 3, 4, they realized that, oh, okay, I must be the person that I want to date.
Yeah.
I must be the person that I want to marry.
Yeah.
Because that self of that person, Fetu, is a greater being.
Actually, that's very perfect what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you remind me of that as
Yeah.
well when you
But
speak.
it's so painful though.
It is.
Because whether you said the Bible went from being a hammer for other people
Yes.
to being a mirror.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm sitting with a counselor or psychologist and they saying, here's the mirror, I'm running away from looking at the mirror because I'm blaming umem.
Angithi awufuna
Angithi angifuni
ukungena.
Yeah.
yima ngithi Dubai ngibe namamuti yabona ngiyima ngithi but ngifuna ukuthi you the reason why I become this.
Yes.
I want to blame other
So I
people.
want you to change. I want you to go through
No,
the
no,
change.
close. I don't want to look there.
Yeah.
No.
The problem with us is we want to change the mirror. Okay, so sorry, so mirror. We want to change the mirror.
Mirror.
Who say mirror?
Mirror. Oh.
Mina ngathi
Is
mirror.
it mirror?
Hayi phela thina sibuye kasi. So the problem with us
ngendlela phela ngagreda kade le stage bayangazi ngiphathi phezulu.
Oh, mama, the price what?
Mina nje ngangijali ukuthi wena mfana uzogreda futhi. Ngifunda yikasela iphethwe yimina kanje.
Sure.
So the problem with us, the majority of us want to change the mirror. We want to change the mirror.
Kuzoboshwa.
Kanti I should change this so that the image that I see.
Yes.
My wife loves saying, Mthabela, as a woman, I'm an incubator. Whatever you give me, I will multiply it and give it back to you.
Whoa! Man, I've never ever thought about it
Yeah.
coming from this topic.
Yeah.
We think about it in terms of umema umnika imali mase yathenga igrosa.
Yeah.
You think about it from a biological point with
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah.
I've never ever viewed it.
Yeah.
If I'm a toxic husband, if I'm nyatuba and I'm passive aggressive, I give it to the incubator.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see.
She
And
multiplies.
it multiplies it.
Yeah.
And then the home becomes cold.
Yes.
Which is why even when you argue, you give her a sentence and she gives you a book.
Yeah.
Hey, ayifuna ukuhleka inceke, ayifuna ukuzi-implicate. Yabo,
Sayizophosa le part.
liyangena ivangeli.
Izophosa. Rewind it.
Did he laugh?
I want to laugh, but man, you're like, oh, you're right.
Baby, I want I didn't laugh. So we are the bad ones here.
But I tell you, when Ike was going,
Yeah.
and that's all we were saying. But we didn't laugh. We didn't laugh. It was in the next social media.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
we
because-
did something,
but,
yeah.
Hey, no, but we didn't laugh. We didn't.
That is
Everyone is
so
on
true.
Tupac. Oh my
You know,
God.
yeah, you remind me of there's so many social experiments that you always read about. That there are there's two teams, 10 people in each team. In this one team, there's 9 people that are just in that team, but they're not working, man. They're not efficient. They put in one good person, and over some time, everyone was efficient. They put in one good person in the team. Just they started to delegate. It doesn't feel normal. When
So, yeah.
yeah, then everything became good in the team.
Yeah.
They did the flip. In this other team, there were 9 people that were good. Good. They put in just one bad person.
Yeah.
After some time, bad. Because once a person repeats that cycle of being bad or good, the environment becomes that.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in the home.
Yeah.
What you're saying is so true.
And that's also what happens in the hood. Screw for head.
The screw flow, yeah.
That thing of choose your friends.
Yeah.
It is such a powerful underrated, because we say it to kids. Yeah, when they go to school, make sure you pick good friends. Your circle. But somewhere along the line, we stop saying it. Once kids become teenagers, we stop because we assume that they've got it
They've
together.
heard you for that. Yeah.
And that is when it's so crucial. Because again, all it takes in a friendship group of 5 people, if one is smoking weed, sonke siyakhona.
Yeah.
Sonke.
Yeah.
Just one person smoking weed, we're all high.
Yeah.
So it's that type of mindset. Ukuthi, like, if you can understand ukuthi, the circle that you keep around you is such a powerful thing. Your environment is so vital. Because the environment, I think, is like 90% of the... No, more.
Hey, yeah,
95%.
this thing is hectic. Just you think about our fathers. Mangangena sibale, TV off, baba.
Yeah.
The whole house
Yeah.
must be. Yeah, the kids must be.
Yeah.
Then it multiplies.
Yeah.
It's what you're speaking about.
Yeah.
So powerful.
It multiplies because now as in Ntwana, you become that kind of a father. You knew what it's like when my father comes home. So you also want to be that. Ngifuna mangena,
It's generational.
I'm the man, yeah. It becomes generational.
Yeah.
But somebody has to say, it ends with me.
Do you not have the fear? This is one of my fears with how I parent or fatherhood, that I might go extremely the other side. You know, because I grew up with Ipobesi.
Yeah.
You know, so when you said like umkhulu wakho, where he made sure that every cupboard is full,
Yeah.
because the trauma is every cupboard was empty when he grew up.
When he grew up, yeah.
So now that might get to extreme where sekuyabola wonke ukudla month on month, every month kuyabola, where you've gone a bit too far. Because when I look at my kids, hey, and obviously they're young, so it's also very, I'm saying this tongue in cheek. But as mina bethu nokuhlela ngibuka irugby, ngibuka kaSoy irugby. Vele nje ifike le one ithi baba, come on. We've given you enough time now.
Yeah.
Eh? No, we've given you enough time. Go watch in the room. No, that can't be.
Yeah.
With absolute confidence.
Yeah.
He's not even being malicious. He's like, no, it's
And he's not, yeah.
No, he's not even being malicious. He's articulating himself.
What is causing that? The collective consciousness of where he lives.
Yeah, 100%.
Our collective consciousness was that you don't talk back to abantu abadala.
You don't even talk. Well, if he's watching something, you will have to wait until it finishes or during an ad break before you can even.
So it's not because it's not because they don't respect.
No, it's not that.
It's the collective consciousness. We are living in a bubble now. You know what's happening in America. You're watching movies. For example, what influenced me and my friends to start walking like this, like us, was because we watched a movie by Nino Brown. And some of us saw ourselves as Nino Brown because through television, we saw what was happening in another world. These guys, they have gadgets. They see now what is happening out there. They see it now, today. So that creates a collective consciousness for them, which is, like I said earlier on, is their foundation.
How do you manage that type of parenting? Because you've got 2 kids.
Yeah.
And your daughter's old.
Yes.
How do you manage that type of parenting where you need to be firm where it's required?
Yeah.
But you also are raising a daughter in a time where you are almost blind.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what teenage girls are going through. You know, because you see her in your space, but you don't see her in the jungle.
Yes, yes.
She only tells you what she tells you,
Yeah.
which, if that goes by any teenager, is 1% of what happens there. How do you manage that parenting?
You have to have a relationship with your kids. I think my father grew up very fast in terms of parenting. Because when I was younger, my father was very strict. He was about do this and that. He was this kind of a guy. And then he used to have his extramural activities, like he was a choir master, choir conductor. So he would go and say, you must do this and this and this. So when he comes back, it must be done, you know. But I saw a different side to my father when I came to Johannesburg. When I was away from him, he would call and I'd be like, hey, what does this guy want? And he would talk and talk and talk and talk and say, kulungileke Mthabela so buyesikhuluma. I'm like, oh, what did he want? No, he wanted a relationship. I relate much better now with my father than I did when I was younger. When he was younger, he grew and realized that, you know what, I can have all the accolades that I can think of in life, but if I don't have my kids, if I don't have a relationship with each and every one of them, because no child experiences their father the same way.
Yeah,
of course.
All of them today, they see you differently.
Yeah.
At all. You know?
Okay.
Let's send him to ask. You know, no child experiences their father the same way. But when you have to be intentional about having a relationship with them, once again, love, they will know that, so when you shout at them, they know you are doing it from a place of love. So they will listen. Like I was saying in Twanekas, these young boys in the township, if we show them love, even if in Twane Hlupa and Twane Uskruf, he will want to impress you.
How crazy is it that our kids describe us as strict?
I heard a new
What
term.
other environment do they know though?
Like,
Because you're coming from your reference point. They don't have that reference point.
oh, my dad is so strict.
Yeah, they
It's
speak
home.
on TV. I saw a new term, I think 2-3 days ago. They call us the domestic terrorists. Did you hear that? Did you know the term?
No,
Taliban.
Yeah,
terrorize endlini domestically.
Yeah, but we are domestic terrorists.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the world they live in. They
Yeah,
see every other. Like I was watching interview ka Sphiwe Mjali.
Sure.
The one who used to be on at Generations at some point. And then he says he visited Luke Byron. And Luke Byron was, no, Dad, no. He slammed the door.
From your TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he slammed the door. It's like, hey, my hero, man. I'm not trying this at home.
School out.
He says,
Choke slam.
He says he banged the door when his father was shouting at him. No, Dad,
Yeah.
His father followed him, said, what? Hey, Bab, whose house is this? Who do you think you are? It's like, hi, Dad, hi, Baba, hi. Hey. Because now he saw it there and thought he could copy and paste here.
Yeah.
We see things out there and we want to do them here. I don't know this thing of our kids calling us you guys. My kids, I'm like, hey, Baba, hey.
Yeah, no.
I'm not you guys work.
Yeah, what's your lunch?
Tomorrow, they will you guys me again. Family group, when are you guys coming back? I'm like, hey, Baba, we are just this yesterday. I'm your father, I'm not you guys.
You guys can watch it in the bedroom. Bedroom
Yeah.
Wow.
It's my house.
Wena bedroom wena.
Yeah.
Wena njengamanje uzoncika
No,
la.
but kubo.
Ish. And they
Yeah. Kubula. This is his family house.
And they walk around like that.
yeah.
Pride, ne?
Oh, bro. You see when they open the fridge, there's a confidence that I look at them and I go, wow. I didn't even open the fridge.
Isn't
When the
that a
fridge, when I
privilege,
open, I take it close.
Yeah. Isn't that a privilege though?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because when I look at it, and my fear, as I was saying, my fear is always, am I going a little bit too far because I'm trying to...
Your compensator from...
I'm trying to heal myself. I'm trying to heal
the child in you, brother.
10-year-old me
bro.
who didn't have that at all, who didn't have... Because I kiss my boys all the time. You turn that boy. You turn that boy. Like that affection that, hug them in the morning. Okay, my boy's going, school. And I'm like, hey, am I doing this a little bit too much now, man?
If you ask yourself if you're doing it too much, you probably are.
I am, ne?
Yeah.
Because the one is like, hey,
You wouldn't think about it if it wasn't an issue.
But I need to get a pushback. So I've never thought about it. I need to at that age, grade 5 now. He's saying, grade 5, it's fine. Drop me off at the gate. I'll get there.
Yeah.
No, but I'm gonna carry you. Nah, it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? Life is very interesting. Everybody has to have his or her set of problems because our problems are our teachers. When you are dealing with your trauma, you are inflicting a new trauma.
Ooh.
They're going to have to deal with that somehow.
Rewind.
Yeah. When you are fixing your trauma through them, you are inflicting a new trauma that they will have to deal with.
Sure.
It's a cycle, this thing. Everybody has to have a problem.
They're like, why does the timer always want us to have breakfast together? Now we have to do this together. Like, we're never individuals because now everything now we almost wear jeans and a white t-shirt.
Yeah.
Because everything must be together.
So there's never a perfect decision.
There's never a perfect decision. We need our set of problems. This problem-free philosophy is the one that's messing us up. We need to have problems. We need our problems in order also to realize that we need God to help us with our problems. Mpetu, how many people growing up did we think they had it good and they had it easy because their parents had money? Only to find that now, as we grow up and we say, hey, I used to think you guys had it good. So, hey, if only you knew.
Yeah. There are many kids in fact, especially from these rich schools. Yeah, my parents paid for everything I was now. But those people were never there.
I have
zero relationship with them.
I used to be a teacher for 10 years. One of the most proudest moments was in education.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget the one time, it's close to the end of the year, and we're talking about what's the plan and the goals for December, what you guys wish you had for Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And these kids are talking, I want a new PlayStation, I want a new phone, I want this. And I remember this one boy, and I'll never forget, and we are in probably the most expensive school in the Eastern Cape at that time. And this boy's like, I just wish I could see my mother.
Ish.
This boy was 13 years old. I just wish I could see my mother.
That's painful.
I haven't seen my mother in 2-3 years.
It's 6, no?
I know we can go. Can go for like next 10.
Okay.
15 minutes.
Yeah. And I just wish I could see my mom. I haven't seen. This boy has been a boarder at the school since the crash we board.
Yeah.
So that school allows you can drop off your 5-year-old child as a boarder and see them twice or once a year. Imagine that child, the potential trauma of, yes, I'm in a very, very privileged space, but I'm a boarder in a 5. Already I'm here in Jan, and then I see them again in December.
And to what you're speaking about, in the old lady's mind, this is an amazing
giving them the
decision.
best.
I'm
Put them in
giving
the
you
best.
something that
Yes.
I've never had in my
Yeah.
entire
Because
life.
I'm so busy
I don't know, I
and
trauma,
I don't
man.
want you to.
Yeah. Yeah. Mfethu, life is very interesting. You know, I don't know if it's official, but I heard of this ukuthi statistics of ingane zama politicians who have a lot of money. Some of them, not all of them, but a big number of them, they end up in drugs and living lives below what was expected by their parents, who thought they were stealing all this money in the government to take care of my kids. But their kids just don't end up where they thought they would.
Because money doesn't raise kids.
It doesn't. Yeah. Because these guys are busy, they are not there.
That's one thing that I want everybody to understand here.
Yeah.
Money does not raise kids.
Unfortunately, a majority of the time, it takes someone who has the money to say money is not everything.
Angna-mali.
No, you know, I was about to say,
Angna-mali.
you know, as you're speaking,
Sobethe usazi. Yabona abantu baba bese bathi sazi.
Nangethi.
until you are there,
Yeah.
you're like, hey, I'm thinking 3,000.
No, I'm not saying money is a very powerful tool.
Yes.
Of course, it's the roof, it's the clothes, it's the food on the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
I'm saying, Wuti, at the end of the day, it's like gym. You can have money, but ngeke ikuqubulele insimbi.
Yeah, true.
Ngeke ikuqubulele insimbi. So
Yeah, for that example, you are right. But
Yeah.
for the flip side, that example doesn't work.
I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Wuti, if there's no you and practical application, you can leave that money on the table. It's gonna do nothing, bro.
Yeah.
You can get the best maths tutors. That means your child will be good at maths. You can get the best hockey coaches, cricket coaches will be good at that, whatever. But in terms of ukukhulisa ingane, hey, bro, that's where you need to roll up your sleeves.
Yeah.
And if you miss that because you are so heavily invested in making money, going on this, doing that, if you miss that, and kids are young for a little time, that's what Chris Rock says. They're young for a little time. They're old for a long time.
Very long.
But they're young for a little time.
To fix the problems of the world, we need to fix the family structure.
It's the cornerstone.
It's the first college.
It's that.
And your behavior as a baba, your behavior as a mama, you are a lecturer to that child.
Every day.
How does your child see you treating his or her mother? How does your child see you treating his or her father as a mother? Wena mama, why umphatha kanje ubaba? Because the sad thing is, money has become this god, this thing that we must get by hooks or crooks. We end up chasing imali so much, we leave the family behind. The money that we need to make to fix our families is the money that we will need at a later stage for doctors. Because we mess up our health in pursuit of money. We mess up our relationships.
Now we need
will
therapists. Now we need this. Now we need
We will
that.
have a big fat retirement fund. But nobody you won't even fix it because your kids are gone. They're living with their husbands. They're living with their wives, and nobody wants to visit your grandpa.
Do you know what's painful? And I'm not throwing shots out there because people think I'm throwing shots. Do you know, like, when I see people like now in December, whatever the case is, and people are going on like vacations alone. I'm not trying to throw shots at anyone, but my heart always just bleeds because I'm a family man through and through. So my whole December, there wasn't a time. I mean, sometimes I just wish breathe, and then because I'm like, you are traveling to New York alone.
But sometimes it is in those moments that you realize what is important in life.
And I pray that those individuals
Get that.
they
They
got
get
to
to
that
that point.
epiphany where they see Nguti, yes, it's beautiful that you've worked hard and you've got this financial resource, but to spend it alone.
Yeah.
But there's some families that are too toxic, eh?
But no, it goes back to what you're saying about forgiveness.
Yeah.
Because we can say they're toxic. We can say this, and now we're blaming them instead of looking at self and how I can work. Because I believe that family is the cornerstone. And the simple way is first start with self. She starts with herself. And then we make sure, Guti, I'm the best version of me. She's the best version of her. This relationship is as best as we can try work on it. And then it works into our nuclear family, extended. But when you see these people, and they're trying to, when you're traveling, you see things here and then you want to talk about it when you get back home. Hey, but you have no one to share that with.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to go to something you just said now. So to catch you, is when you said, after retirement, the kids don't want to visit you. There was a podcast I watched about 2 years ago. And they asked this guy, when would you know that your parenting was amazing, it was good, even though you had flaws in it? But when would you know that I did a good job? He says, when I'm retired and my kids want to visit me. Mataya, wanna laugh, why? That is the truth. It's like, in fact, once my kids are married, they have all the money in the world. They can do whatever they want. But they still want to come and chill with me.
Let's go see granddad.
That's when I know I've done an amazing job.
Unfortunately, sometimes that's too late for some people. I said to kids, I was speaking to kids in some school. I said to them, I told them the story of my grandfather, how I ended up living a privileged life because of the price that my grandfather paid. And I say to them, what will your great-grandkids say about you?
About you.
When your kids want to go to New York for a whole month, are they going to say, let's leave the kids no mkhulu? Let's leave the kids no gogo?
Yeah.
Or they will think of how you raised them and they will say, you're not taking them there. You may even call and say, guys, when are you bringing the kids?
They're avoiding you.
Because now you want to raise them better or make yourself feel better by taking care of the grandkids because you did not take care of
your child.
So I was saying to these kids, make sure you work hard now that you afford a good life for your kids so that your grandkids can one day say, without you having to fight. But maybe to a father out there, I love talking to fathers. Maybe to a father out there who says, hey, maybe for me it's too late. It's never too late.
Never too late.
Fix that relationship now. If there's a son that you are not taking care of, if there's a daughter that you try picking and not denied.
Something like that.
Yeah, but a child that you denied. Fix it. Fix it while you can. There's a beautiful scripture in the Bible. It says, seek the Lord while he may be found. It's not too late to have a relationship with your child, to have a relationship with your daughter. Try and fix the relationship with your mama. I know you fought, you don't want to see each other, but for the sake of the child as a man, humble yourself and go to Nkanyamba and say, hey. And
RIP, that's the conversation we had with Dwaras. The last conversation we had here with Dwaras, because I'm co-parenting.
Yeah.
And Dwaras was co-parenting at the time. And one of the things that we were speaking about is now he's got a great co-parenting, or at that time had a great co-parenting relationship. And I was like, there's a cost to that. And people are not willing to humble themselves.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you're a man who takes accountability, 99% of the time, you're the reason why the relationship didn't work. Because of whether it is you might infidelity or you failed as a leader.
Nah, but
if you want to look in the mirror,
I usually blame us as men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said 99%.
But I also just want to say, out there.
No, but come on.
Yeah.
I'm saying just look in the mirror. Because at the end of the day, we're umkhethile.
Yes.
So you had flaws in your, or holes in your selection criteria, if that is who she is.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, Gutimina, once I looked at the man in the mirror, I was like, I'll take everything.
Yeah.
And by humbling myself and taking everything, I've got the best relationship.
Yes.
The best. Yeah. And I was like, what else are you? And he's like, now I had to get to that point. My cheetah who are out there and you're complaining about your baby mamas, Usisi,
for the
yes.
sake of.
Usisi, yes, might be difficult.
Yeah.
Awuzehlise, bro. Awuzehlise. Yes, she did this, she did that, she did. Okay, sharp, whatever. We need it when you tell the truth.
Yeah, Amachita, they approach that baby mama with a lot of anger and ego, man.
Yeah.
And you must remember, for some of these women, man, you know, I have a few friends in fact that struggle with this thing of not having access to their kids. And sometimes I understand the anger of the ladies. Like if it, every single day, when I'll travel, fuck all. So I speak to them like, if you know, you're not there every day as out time to your kid. When you go there, bro, and find humble yourself, even if they swear at you, they do whatever, bro. Because going there with anger won't solve anything.
No.
She'll even make sure, as in, I go over the whole year,
Yeah.
just to spite you.
If
Young Ton.
humility, and again, going to the conversation we had last week, it's almost like whether you're fighting with your own mother, whether you're fighting with your kid's mother, whether you're fighting with your partner, whether you're fighting your brother, there has to be a level of humility.
Yeah, you have to.
Because you realize, in order for us to get to that next step of our relationship, someone has to come down. And because I still want you in my life and I still value in my life, let me be that sacrificial lamb and lower myself for the relationship.
Some of the guys will try that and it's not going to work.
Yes.
Swashayela machita, akesikhulume no mama ke manje. You will win the battle when you say you will not see this child ever in your life. Even if you want to have a relationship with the child, you will win the battle, but you will lose the child because you are creating a new set of trauma for that child who does not experience uthando lika baba, even if ubaba is available and wants to be part of that child's life. You will win the battle, yes, gcine wena. Ngeke ungamboni ngempela umntanakho. Because truth be told, I've spoken at quite a few men's conferences. Men out there really want to have a relationship with their sons and daughters. But somebody says, even worse, my sister ugogo nomkhulu abantu ababengekho.
Hey, those ones now.
Next thing ugogo nomkhulu bazoshona very soon.
Yeah.
Bona, all they're thinking, they need to have a child in this household. Ingane kaMlotshwa ila ekhaya bafuna ukuyidedela. The next thing, bayishonela, bayifela, but this child will be left with the trauma.
And that trauma also goes into society as well. We need to deal with that nonsense of yours now.
Exactly. And this child is going to be somebody's husband. This child who never saw uthando lika baba because of you is going to be somebody's wife. Who will not understand ukuthi kahle hle senzani in this marriage. And you won't even make the connection between the trauma of the child and your decision
That's very
to
true.
withhold the child from you. But let's go back to speaking about this kind of a society that we want to create, which is what we spoke about earlier on when we spoke about mentoring these young boys. How about creating a society that doesn't have baby mamas and baby daddies?
Correct.
But then we need to then also unpack the value of a man in a child's life. One of the issues we're facing with this thing of baby mamas and these women not wanting a machita to have access to the kids is the fact that they don't value the man. They don't see the man bringing something that is unique. For them, money is the source.
I think the question is, before we get to that, how about we get
stop
married
and
we stop breaking up? We get married, we commit to each other.
And also,
then
also just not go around planting your seed everywhere.
Everywhere.
You go. Yeah.
Fair.
How about as men, we take the full responsibility of being intentional about where we sow our seed?
Yes, the flow is that we have this conversation and so but the other party is also just as powerful.
Yes.
The other gender, as you were saying, abantu besilisa sibathele ngoswazi, and now it's also the time of mama, balance. And we'll say, let's not sow our seed, let's try and stop the whole baby mama, baby daddy. But we've also got, as we're saying, a whole group of women who might think about it very differently, and they might think about it like from you.
Yeah.
I just need your seed. I don't want to be with you.
That in itself is some kind of a trauma.
That is some kind of a trauma.
I remember in the 90s.
Shoma Josie, she's on a podcast with This podcast is sponsored by Woolworths or Magen I forgot what it is.
Yeah.
She said, I am a choice mom. And I'm not throwing shade.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking to what you just said now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, I'm a choice mom. Then she explains what it is. It's a new thing. And she said people must write in the comments to say, are they part of the community? Choice mom.
Choice mom community.
Yeah, if there is a
Okay.
community like that.
Okay.
Choice mom is, I want your sperm. I want nothing else from you. Just impregnate me. I don't want you to have access to the dead. I want fuck on.
I've been asked by so many women.
Yeah, and
In the
she did
DMs.
that.
Serious?
Yeah.
So many.
She
Now, keep forwarding expos about
and she did that, and it's working perfect. She's like, I don't want anything.
There's so many women that are saying,
I'm
I
a
work,
choice
I've
mom.
got my
I
own
just
money.
want to be a mom.
I just want your seed.
And all these things is based on the fact that when money becomes God, culture, religion means fuck all. So that's the issue that
Even
we're facing.
God himself
Even God
becomes
means nothing. Yes,
nothing, yeah.
That's the issue we're facing in society, that we've flipped things around.
Because you've got a sense of, if you are a single mother, you would say, I can do both what the mother does and what the father does. Which on its own is some sort of mental illness. That's like saying, which mean I can be a boy and a girl at the same time, or I can be both. It just doesn't make sense. It's money that becomes a cornerstone.
Yeah. So I
I
can't.
mean, I can't.
Because we have decentered God in our society. But the moment you remove God, God has been removed. There's no more morning
saying that
assembly.
last
We
week.
spoken about this last week.
Yeah.
God has been removed. The parliament, people don't have any kind of a spirituality or an intimacy with God.
There's no anchor.
No, we make it as we go.
So you are this ship in the middle of the ocean just floating.
So you are a God. The problem with modern society is that we are gods.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be controversial, but there's a term that I saw somewhere where they say, do what thou wilt. We are a society of do what thou wilt.
YOLO.
Sense matanda, YOLO, you live only once. Nonsense, you live every day. The sad thing for me is that I don't see the choice mom community being a godly thing. Me. Mbulaleni, do what thou wilt. Mbulaleni if you want, but that is not God's pattern of
Yes.
parenting.
Yes.
Mfethu, I realized when I began to have a close relationship with my father, how much I needed that man in my life. Umam wami did everything she could for me as a son. Everything that she needed to do for me, she did it for me. But I needed that man in my life. And she allowed me to have a relationship with him, even though bona sebehlukene. But when I bought my first house, my father, because of where he comes from, he didn't say, hey, my son, I am so proud of you. My father is not my boy.
Yeah.
But when he shook my hand, I knew he was saying much more than what he was saying with his handshake when he left my house. He left and he shook my hand. He held it tight. I knew this man is communicating something that he's just unable to say with his mouth.
Zukis.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
That's the version of I love you.
That was him saying, Ntwani, ungigezela."
Yeah.
You know?
None.
You want to be a choice mom. And you don't want umntanakho to have that experience of your father saying, I'm proud of you. You know, when I heard my father for the first time calling me Mthabela, you have no idea what it did for me. Puti.
Khona Mlotshwa azingumthabela kulesithaze sakaMthabela. Yes, khona Mlotshwa.
Yes, Mlotshwa wasitshana.
Yeah.
Mntwana sedladleni. Like I said, ukuthi, this is my son. This is something that you cannot buy with money. When my father said to me, Mthabela, and he called me to my brother, says, "Seningabafowethu manje. You are my brothers now." Hey, but do you know how I was walking?
Yeah.
Knowing that my father just called me his brother. Hey, this guy that I look up to so much. And when you think you can play both roles, hayi baba ngazodlala once le ntwana yaqala yaba yi-teenage yazokuxaka you'll be calling umalume ukuthi he just needs a father figure nonsense angithi wayilahle i-father figure
uzobiza aba-colleagues ama-male based
yeah
That's very true.
i-male based izobe sila
mfethu nothing beats God's a pattern of how life must be lived uNkulunkulu created mfethu I can't take i-Mercedes to kwa-BMW to be fixed there it needs to go back to the maker uNkulunkulu made us and he gave us the rules you need a father you need a mother of course there are situations where there has to be you know
of course.
but you can't just go out there and say I mean
choice yami.
hey the sad thing is we will see the impact of choice mother in years to come
decades
when younger girls have also gone into the habit of and I'm not mhlambe trying to attack usisi for
No, we just
No,
talking
we're
about
not.
we
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
just talking about
that
we're not
issue.
talking about the individual because because I also call it BS. Whenever I hear people talking about single parenthood,
And they glorify it.
no, you can't glorify it. I like they
Especially
say
when
on,
they make it a choice,
on
yeah.
Father's Day, Happy Father's Day to me. It's just let fathers have a time in the sun.
Happy Father's Day to me
To me,
yabona already iyinkinga leyo nto leyo
no, awudedela abanye ba celebrate birthday yabo ngebirthday yabo. Nawe ngebirthday yakho so celebrate yakho.
Yeah.
And men, because it's two different roles. I always look at it, Guti, the mother's role is that nurturing love and the father's a tough love.
Yeah.
They both love, but it's different energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, it has to be, and that's where the balance, the other side of the coin. Now, when I coin in a side,
and you know we did this exercise nonkosikazi nabantwana the other day because we were talking about the fact that this one will think one day will say to me we were talking about the issue of traumas this one will say to me one day yeah when baba you loved this one more than me
of course.
so we were sitting down just having a conversation so we have these sessions in my house we call it the family altar where we pray and then everybody must share a verse and then we do the how are you really session how are you what are you grateful for session so we were having that kind of a session where we were just talking and talking and then we say to them does any one of you think we love the other more than them they both said yes and we said to them can you see how you see things is your way of seeing things. Because now you are saying, I love this one more. And now we are saying, I love this one more. And Tina, in our own eyes, we love this one more. We took it a notch higher. And my wife says to me, so, Nina vele ntanda ubaba ukudlula mina. Ngithi mina, hoyi nami ngibona ngathi bathanda wena ukudlula mina. So you see lento ukuthi in this relationship of four people, there was another layer, another level to us that we did not see existed. Kunabantu abebekhona, kunomuntu oyindodana yami, oyindodakazi yami, othi kuthanda lo, kunalo othi kuthanda lo. Even though thina at this level sinthanda nonke. But there's another layer in this family. So sometimes we create our own traumas thinking thina we are fixing another problem. So bottom line.
Yeah. Let's close it. It's cut.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Okay.
A son needs his father.
Fact.
A son needs his mother. A daughter needs her father's love. A daughter needs her mother's love. In fact, have you seen how when they're still young, how your kids run to you and your daughter runs to you, and she just throws herself at you and she says, I missed you, daddy. Yeah, and your mother just looks at the two of you like, "Ay laba bathandana ukudlula mina." You know, but there's just that love that the daughter needs from ubabwaki, and there's just that love that the son needs, and that reaffirmation to say, "Hey, one day I want to be like this guy," because you are like a little god to your son, and you want to take that away and create a new trauma.
Yes, that's true.
Because of the trauma, he will be looking for something. I know a relative who says he went to a doctor and the doctor says, yeah, a trauma. Because when you were young, you didn't have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now you're doing all of these things because you need that. Some of the young boys who did not have a father's love or a mother's love, they go around impregnating everybody because
they're trying to
that
that they're missing.
Yeah, and you get this person, all right. Hey, mfethu, because of a trauma, we've lost a lot of very amazing women in our lives because we were looking for something and sabashia any trauma nabo.
Multiply. See, yeah.
The solution is God.
Ngisengathi ukhuluma nami kumenyere la ikhombe mina kakhulu.
No,
Okay.
but that's the beautiful thing, ukuthi you open yourself up to be able to talk about things.
Yes.
Even those shy away, which is fine.
Because in there, for me, it's about the healing, it's about the learning, it's about the growing.
Yeah.
It's about becoming a better version of myself, taking
Yeah.
account, and then hopefully the next person gets to learn. So as you were saying, uthi uthole into eziyi-5.
Yeah.
But without realizing, unazo into eziyi-5, mina sengicikile ngapha ku number 6,
Eish.
and learning, I might not be at the braai,
Yeah.
but I'm watching the podcast, I'm watching the this, I'm
Yes,
watching the this, I'm consuming the knowledge and the wisdom and the learnings, and I'm becoming a better version. So no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
No, man. We have to be intentional about our platforms. It can't just be a chat. So my followers are in there. We are monetizing. It's not about monetizing. It's about influencing the next generation and being intentional about it. What kind of a legacy
No.
is Muzi Mthabela going to leave? What kind of a legacy is Utebucho going to leave? What kind of a legacy is Mlotshwa going to leave? What kind of a legacy are you going to leave when ekaya? And I'm not talking about money. How many people when you die will say, had it not been for this man, my life would be different? My father was a principal Egas. And he was a good guy.
Asikhulume Menyere, ngibona uMenyere usafuna ukukhuluma sana.
No problem.
No,
I'm looking at the time.
I'm ready.
My father was a principal Mlazi as well Bands. That man loved that school. That man loved being a teacher. That man loved being a father to these kids. Till today, I still meet people who say, if it wasn't for your father, I wouldn't be here. Ngaba ngikho. And ubeshaya ubaba wami. Ubeshaya uyeka isikole hamba ekhaya kulande. Athi mawubheda ngisazokushaya but buyele esikoleni. Do things right. Until these boys changed, until these girls changed. And today, mangihlana nabo, hey, but if it wasn't for your father, I don't know where I'd be.
That's tough love.
Yeah.
A lot of homes that I've seen that don't have a father, don't have tough love. Not necessarily ukuthi ingane uyashaya for the sake of uyishaya or you bubesi, but it's, I need to be firm here.
Yes.
You need to understand ukuthi there's consequences for your behavior. I look at in today's time, a lot of these kids don't understand what consequence is.
Yeah.
So they dress a certain way, they speak a certain way, they move and they go to these clubs and they do all these times because they know that there's no real consequence.
Yeah.
And once you remove consequence from society starts crumbling.
Yeah.
That's what we're going through now.
Yeah, it's a whole society of no consequence. People literally can say today, Guti, Tina Skula, you couldn't swear at a person's mother, as an example. Now, people can say whatever they want to say.
There are no consequences.
And there's no consequence.
That's why somebody steals a mile, well, you can't dispel
Zwan.
just to buy cars. Ivale mfana siyozisilo kuze sikhuluma izinto engakhulumi. I'm untouchables.
But thank you so much, Minya. Like, I think for us, and just the flow, Guti, there's still so much more that I'd like to deep dive.
Yeah.
So
part two, please. Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And even when there's other guests, I think the way that you view every day is because of the anchor that you have.
Yes.
Yeah, when it's because of your compass, because of your North Star. Yeah. So even if we were to bring the
opposite,
but just so that their energy plus your energy, I think there's a lot of learning and there's a lot of balance in how we can approach everyday ills of society. But no, thank you so much.
I mean, what's up away? Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Gents, out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.